Look into your dog's eyes just for a second. Do you see love, loyalty, trust? Now imagine this. One day, that same dog growls at you. Not playfully, not by accident, but with something deeper, something unfamiliar. And in that moment, you ask yourself a question that shakes you. What happened to my dog? But what if nothing happened to your dog? What if something happened because of you? Not intentionally, not out of cruelty, but through small, everyday mistakes that slowly change the way your pit bull sees the world. Because aggression doesn't appear overnight. It is built piece by piece, moment by moment. And today, we're going to uncover the 7 mistakes that silently turn one of the most loyal dogs into something they were never meant to be. Meet Bruno, a pit bull who, just a year ago, would wait at the door every evening. Tail wagging, eyes shining, waiting for his owner to come home. He wasn't aggressive. He wasn't dangerous, he was perfect. But today, Bruno doesn't wag his tail anymore. He doesn't run to the door. Instead, he watches from a distance, alert, tense, and sometimes he growls. So what changed? Did Bruno suddenly become aggressive, or did something in his world teach him to be that way? This is where most people get it wrong. They believe aggression is a trait, something a dog is born with. But in reality, aggression is a response, a reaction to confusion, to fear, to neglect, to pressure. And most of the time, it's not the dog's fault. It's the environment, it's the training, it's the small decisions we don't even realize we're making. And that's what makes this dangerous, because you can love your dog and still be the reason they're changing. Mistake 1, lack of socialization. Let's go back to when Bruno was just a puppy, small, curious, full of energy. At that stage, the world is a blank page. Every sound, every face writes something into their mind. But Bruno's world was small. He stayed inside most of the time. No strangers, no busy streets, no new environments. It felt safe. But safety, without exposure, creates fragility. So when Bruno finally stepped outside, everything felt overwhelming. The sounds were louder. The people felt threatening. Even another dog felt like danger. And when a dog feels threatened, they don't think, they react. Sometimes by barking, sometimes by lunging, and sometimes by becoming aggressive. Not because they want to hurt, but because they don't know how to cope. And this is just the beginning. Because the next mistake doesn't just confuse your dog, it breaks something much deeper. Mistake 2, harsh punishment. One day, Bruno barked at a stranger. It wasn't aggression, it was fear. But his owner didn't see fear, he saw disobedience. So he shouted, pulled the leash hard, forced Bruno to submit. And in that moment, something invisible changed. Bruno didn't learn to be calm. He learned something else. When I feel scared, I also get hurt. Would you feel safe, or would you become defensive? Because when fear and pain combine, they don't disappear. They evolve into something stronger, something louder, something that fights back. Mistake 3, inconsistency. Some days, Bruno was allowed on the couch. Other days, he was shouted at for the same thing. From a human perspective, this seems normal. But from a dog's perspective, it's chaos. Because dogs don't understand exceptions, they understand patterns. And when patterns keep changing, they stop trusting the system. They become anxious, hyper-aware, always guessing, is this okay or not? And that constant pressure builds internal stress. And stress, over time, doesn't stay quiet. It explodes. If you're watching this right now, there's a chance you've seen at least one of these signs in your own dog. And if that's true, don't panic. Because what you're learning right now might be the exact moment you change your dog's future. Mistake 4, ignoring emotional needs. Let's go back to Bruno. Again, not suddenly, not dramatically, but slowly, quietly, invisibly. At first, it was small things. Coming home late, too tired to interact, skipping walks, skipping playtime. It's okay, I'll make up for it tomorrow. But tomorrow became next week, and next week became a pattern. And Bruno, he noticed. Because to you, it's just a busy day. But to your dog, you are their entire world. And when that connection starts fading, they don't just feel bored, they feel replaced, confused, alone. Dogs don't express emotional pain like humans. They change, they withdraw, or they become reactive. Because emotional neglect doesn't stay emotional. It becomes behavioral, and behavioral changes are what we label as aggression. And what happens next? What happens next is something most owners accidentally create without even realizing it. Mistake 5, lack of physical and mental exercise. Bruno had energy, a lot of it, but no outlet, no long walks, no structured play, no mental stimulation. Just walls, silence, waiting. Now imagine this. You lock pressure inside a container and keep adding more. What happens? Eventually, it explodes. That's exactly what happens inside your dog. Because a pit bull is not just strong physically. They are intense mentally. They need challenges. They need purpose. Without it, their energy turns inward into frustration, into restlessness, into behaviors that seem unpredictable. Chewing, jumping, barking excessively. And when that energy peaks, it can turn into aggression. Not because your dog is bad, but because your dog is overwhelmed. Mistake 6. Encouraging aggressive play. It starts as fun, play fighting, rough games, teasing reactions, watching your dog growl, and thinking it's cute. But here's the truth. Your dog is always learning. Every interaction is training. When you encourage roughness, you're not just playing, you're teaching. You're reinforcing the idea that this behavior gets attention. This behavior gets engagement. This behavior is acceptable. And over time, that line between play and real aggression starts to blur because your dog doesn't understand context the way you do. They only understand repetition, and repetition creates habit, and habit creates identity. Mistake 7. Ignoring body language. Before any dog becomes aggressive, they warn you, always. But the problem is, most people don't see it. Or worse, they ignore it. Bruno used to give signals, small ones, subtle ones, turning his head away, avoiding eye contact, freezing for just a second too long. These are not random behaviors, they are communication. Your dog saying, I'm uncomfortable, I'm stressed, I need space. But when those signals are ignored, your dog learns something dangerous. Soft signals don't work. So what do next? They escalate. A growl, a snap, a lunge. Not because they want to attack, but because they feel unheard. And when communication fails, action takes over. Now look at the full picture. Bruno wasn't born aggressive. He was shaped by missed moments, by misunderstandings, by silence where connection should have been. Every mistake added a layer. Until one day, his behavior changed enough for someone to say, this dog is aggressive. But here's the part that changes everything. If behavior can be built, it can be rebuilt. If trust can be broken, it can be restored. If aggression can be learned, it can be unlearned. But only if you take responsibility. Not with guilt, but with awareness. Because your pit bull is not your enemy. They are your reflection. A reflection of your time, your energy, your consistency, your understanding. And the moment you change, everything else begins to change too. So tonight, when your pit bull looks at you, don't just see a dog, see a story that you are writing every single day. Because in the end, your dog doesn't need perfection. They don't need dominance. They don't need control. They need to feel safe with you. And the real question is, will you be that person?